What is going on YouTube? This is Jim back with another video here to give you guys my thoughts on Minecraft Dungeons. Now, I have to say when this game was first announced, I was incredibly excited. Take two genres that everybody likes, dungeon crawlers and Minecraft with, I guess technically Minecraft isn't a genre, but mix those two ideas together and this is what you get. Now, the game is $20. I think that is the first of many red flags that I'm going to talk about today. And I feel almost as if when the developers were putting this game together, they just kind of did the bare minimum required in order to make it an experience. And I find it incredibly frustrating because I feel like Diablo, particularly Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction expansion, and this game's old as dirt. I mean, 20 plus years old at this point. That game really defined this genre, this kind of click, attack, loot type of game. All Minecraft had to do, really, was take that exact formula, put a Minecraft wrapper around it, throw in the charm of Minecraft, and they'd be fine. But they didn't do that. I don't know if this game is intended for small children. I don't know if this game is intended for people who just are looking for a way to kill an afternoon. But I can tell you that in my playthrough of this game, and I am almost completely done. I'm actually recording one of the earlier levels here. I believe this is the third or fourth level you're going to come across. You will blow through this game in a matter of hours. And as a matter of fact, the entire video I'm showing you now is one entire playthrough of one level, with me stopping a few times, dorking around with my inventory, dorking around with enchantments. Now, I didn't 100% clear the map. I didn't go to every single little corner and every single little piece of the map to uncover all the treasure. But how quickly I blow through this level, underpowered I should add, should give you some sort of feeling as to how long this game will take you to play through. Now, it was included in Game Pass, which is great because had I bought this game at launch, I would have been really pissed off. I'll just say that. Now, let's talk about what it is, and then let's definitely spend a lot of time about what it isn't. It is a action game taken in that dungeon crawler genre. You have you left click to where you want to go. That also doubles as clicking on an enemy to attack. Each weapon has a different combo on the third attack. You'll see with the axe here. On the third attack, I always do a swing attack, which is a little AoE. I don't have any abilities to modify that. So if you're thinking of a skill like a leap or some sort of heroic smash or something, you're not going to get that. You're just going to get the basic left attack. Now, you do have a right attack, which you see me cast from time to time. Those are my arrows. That is your ranged ability. You'll kill enemies and to collect more arrows. You'll also notice that I have some modifiers. I don't even use number 2 or number 3 on my keyboard, but those are kind of like your, I guess we'll say, special abilities that allow you to do different things. My number 1 is a rocket that turns my arrows into a large AoE attack. My number 2, which I don't even use, is a fishing pole, which actually is used as a grappling hook to pull enemies closer to you. And my item number 3 are Pegasus boots, which allow me to increase my movement speed. You also have a potion, which is bound to E, which is it's a cooldown, so similar to how Diablo 3 did a potion. No longer do you have to collect them in their finite amount. They just have a cooldown associated with them, and that works out well enough. You also have spacebar, which allows you to do a slight roll. After you roll, your movement speed is greatly reduced, but it's great for getting out of the way, jumping over gaps, or just dorking around if you want to add a little bit of action to this game. That's really it in terms of combat. There's no skill trees. There are items, there are enhancements that you will upgrade depending on when you level up. You get a little token. You can put it into an item to make it stronger. Each item type has a couple different upgrades, whether it's attack damage or movement speed, whatever. You have kind of a couple options you could take there, and you can pick up new weapons and items as you go along. As you see me doing here, I'm killing enemies. Some enemies drop the gems, which are your universal currency, which can be used back at your town to gamble on with a blacksmith. Sometimes you'll get pieces of food, which you can use right there, which will instantly give you health, whether it's a piece of bread or a piece of pork. Sometimes it's a potion that increases your movement speed or reduces your time for your next potion. They're just random things that you can collect. I haven't seen anything yet in terms of gear that has really blown me away. I haven't personally gotten any crazy legendaries or any kind of unique items. That's definitely understandable because that should be a reward and an incentive to keep playing. If enemies were just crapping out legendaries everywhere, it definitely wouldn't be as fun. So I do understand that those are going to be in limited quantity. And I also understand that your goal should be to want to replay, to explore all the different pieces of the map, to fight all of the enemies, collect all the treasures, and make your character as mean as possible. And that is a really good gameplay hook in any of these dungeon crawler games. Unfortunately, Minecraft takes a lot of really kind of tried and true conventions, and it just flat out removes them. Which goes back to my original question of who is this game really for? Is this like baby's first dungeon crawler? Because honestly, it feels that way. But then there are some moments, brief moments, where I feel like, oh, we've increased difficulty, or oh, something cool is about to happen. Now it's going to actually ramp up. That was just a tutorial level. Now the real level begins. Now the real level, the challenge happens. And that shoe never drops. It just always seems to be this very basic adventure. You could see me running through, mindlessly clicking, which, again, that is the genre here. But there's absolutely no challenge here. There's no real reason to explore every little nook and cranny because the treasures you get don't really matter that much. Yes, you'll upgrade a piece of gear here or there, but I'm not even using my special abilities on my bar, my 1, 2, or 3, because I'm killing things so fast with my weapon, which isn't even that powerful. I just picked it up 2 minutes ago. But you get the kind of point of what this game is going to be. Now, it does things that it should be better about. And you're going to see here, I believe, this is where I take my glaive, and I just go ahead and upgrade it quickly to give myself some increased damage, and now I'm going to kill enemies even faster. That's a great hook. I love that. I encourage that. But there's a lot of things that this game gets wrong. You miss out on things like rune items. You miss out on things like skills to really customize your character, whether you want to be more magic-based or more melee-based. These are standard, like, tropes for these games, whether you're going to be a barbarian or a paladin or a wizard, which are going to come with different trade-offs. You know, maybe a barbarian does more melee damage but is weak at range. Maybe you have a character who's very powerful at range but weak up close. That's what really starts to get you to play this as a party, and that's what really starts to let you have fun with it. Phil and I talk a lot on our podcast about how much we love Elder Scrolls Online because that game really lets you be anything. This game is the exact opposite. You are a nameless, faceless, left-clicking killing machine. That is all you will ever be. If you think that you're going to be able to really max out your bow and arrow and be more of a ranger-type character, well, you can, but there's really no skills or anything that's going to differentiate you from anybody else that has a high-powered bow. Your cosmetics aren't really going to change. Your role in the group isn't really going to change. You're just going to stand a little bit farther back, and you're going to add that layer of gameplay on your own. And the game really struggles with that identity because that is a really big point of these games, is to figure out what class you want to be, what character you want to be, how you want to deal with the challenges you're going to come across. And that leads to a lot of rerolls too. I want to play as a barbarian. Now you want to start over as a wizard. Oh, I got this really cool weapon I want to trade to myself or put in my inventory. A lot of these systems that you just expect to be in this game just don't exist. It's not like Minecraft doesn't have a lot of this to build off of either. Now, there are clearly a lot of new weapons that have been added into this game, but it has a rich universe already to draw upon. And it does get the theming right. It does. You feel like you are in Minecraft. It has that pixely look. The sound effects are great. The enemies are great. You know, they've added little things like instead of the treasure goblin, they have the treasure pig. They have created a great place to explore and to fight. If there was something in there, if there was a reason to explore and to fight, and there just isn't. And I don't understand where, Microsoft taking challenges on this Xbox game studio, producing a game really out of their comfort level. There was really no reason to get lost in this game. And it is really beautiful. It has a beautiful layer of polish. It looks gorgeous. It plays well for what it is. But there is so much source material they can steal from. So many other games have done this so much better than Minecraft. Dungeons. The fact that this game is now entering the market in mid 2020 and it's as bare bones as this, I would argue the original base Diablo had more content to it than this game does. And that is really disheartening. I don't know the development behind this game, if Microsoft felt like it wasn't going to be worth it, so they kind of stopped early. But it seems like they have a lot of good systems in place. You see on the left-hand side from time to time, I am proccing different buffs. That should force me to play differently, whether it's a strength buff or a speed buff. That should kind of be my indication that I need to play my character slightly differently. But I don't do that. I just left click and run around. Now, it does get a little dicey here in this boss fight. I don't die. There's a few times I'm really darn close. But I think it's because I'm probably playing at a level that I shouldn't have. I'm wearing pretty much base armor, and I'm just face tanking and left clicking. I'm not even really rolling out of the way of most things. I'm just walking into these slimes and hitting them, and they're dying. And it's just not much of a challenge. You will blow through this game in an afternoon, no doubt about it. I don't understand where this idea of building a party and playing with your friends really comes in, because I am sure, and I haven't tried it, I'm sure the difficulty spikes in some capacity. Clearly there's a slider at the beginning of the level, so there is that replayability. I'm sure if you had a party of people, maybe you could play differently, but even then, I don't really know what roles you would have. It's not like you're going to be a dedicated healer or anything like that. Everybody's just going to be running around swinging their weapons like madmen, and I don't really see it devolving into much past than that. And to be fair, core Diablo is really that kind of thing too. This definitely isn't an MMO meant for any kind of party system, but you just don't feel like you have an identity. And that's just really all I can say about this game. You see, I walked over, I grabbed one of those strength shards, and I totally ignore everything else except for the main boss. And I run up to him, I left click repeatedly, I got a new piece of gear that I can equip, I run through the dungeon, and that's the end. It'll take me to a small screen where I can upgrade my character, I'll see what kind of treasures I got, and on to the next adventure. I think this game is a complete failure on a lot of points, and it's incredibly frustrating. Those are my thoughts on it. Leave your comments below. Let me know your thoughts on Minecraft Dungeons. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.